Warzone Morloc 40k brings you a brand new 9th edition Warhammer 40,000 Tempest of War battle report. The brand new CODEX TYRANIDS versus the mighty Astartes of the Deathwatch in an epic encounter.
Welcome to Warzone Morloc 40k. Billy at the bottom there, he doesn't have a microphone, so he's not talking at the moment, so he's left it to us. So we're joined today by Kane.
Hiya.
Kane, tell him about your Instagram.
Just a friendly Instagram page called Mayday Miniatures. I also run another one called Master Artisan Minis as well.
Yeah, check it out, it's awesome. He's brought his Deathwatch with him today, and they look fantastic. And you post those guys up there, don't you?
Quite regular.
And others, Necrons.
Necrons, Knights, Custodes, bit of Necromunda, anything
all the good
cool.
stuff, all the good stuff, yeah. So we're going to play Tempest of War today against Hive Fleet Vienetta. We're complete with a new Parasite of Mortrex, and we've got our new Tyranids Codex out. Let's see how it does.
Let's do it!
Okay, this is my 2,000 point Deathwatch list. Starting in the middle, we have a captain with a mastercrafted heavy bolter. He is going to be my warlord today. I've paid to give him Vigil Unmatched, which gives him an extra warlord trait. So he's got his Paragon of the Chapter, which he's taking the Ultramarines warlord, which is the adept of the Codex to get a 5+ CP back. He has the Imperium Sword, which is +1 attack and strength from the charge, and he also has the Burning Blade. Next up, we have the Primaris Tech Marine to his right. He's upgraded to the Master of the Forge, so he can heal 4 flat free. To his left, we have a Company Champion upgraded to a Chapter Champion. I've given him the Deathwatch relic Dominus Aegis, which gives a 5+ invuln to all core and character units in 6 inches, I believe. Moving on to troops at the front, we have an Indomitor Kill Team. This is made up of 5 heavy intercessors with Hellstorm bolt rifles and 5 Flamestorm aggressors. To the left, we have a squad of 5 Incursors, just bare bones as they are, and to the right we have a squad of Infiltrators. Moving on to Elites, we have a Deathwatch Terminator squad. There is 2 Chain Fists in this squad. Then we have a Vanguard Veteran squad, been a bit naughty and the Thunderhammer isn't paid for, but the squad has Lightning Claws and Storm Shields. On to Fast Attack, just 1 squad in the Fast Attack, which is the Inceptor squad. Yep, that'd be it. Oh, I've forgotten Elites. So I've got 2 really big Redemptor Dreadnoughts staring me right in the face. Both of these are Macroplasma Incinerators, Onslaught Gatling Cannons, Icarus Rocket Pods, and Storm Bolters. Lastly, moving into heavy support, I've got a squad of 3 Eradicators, standard Melter rifles, and then at the back we have a Gladiator Lancer. It is upgraded with some auto launchers and an Iron Hail heavy stabber.
Okay, so this is 2,000 points of Hive Fleet Vienetta, starting with 10 command points, and I'm going to be playing the rules for Hive Fleet Leviathan today. So I'm going to start off with my Warlord. That's the Trigon Prime, just over on the right hand side. So I've given him a few little extras. He's got an adrenal gland and toxin sacs, and I've given him the relic, the Seer Hive, so that means that any hits in combat automatically wound. And I've also given him the Warlord trait, Heightened Senses, so that means he always gets fight first and re-rolls all hit rolls. So he is going to be nasty. Next to him, I've got just down the front there, the other HQ is the Swarm Lord.
This dude?
Yeah, down the front with all the swords. He is just standard fare. I've also got a Neurothrope on HQ. Just there. Brains! Brains! So he has got the Psychic powers, Catalyst and Psychic Scream. I should also say the Swarm Lord has got Psychic powers, Paroxysm and Onslaught. The final HQ, just behind the Swarm Lord, is the Tyrannid Prime. I've paid a CP, yeah, that one there. with the extra pincy tail on the back. Ooh, he's I've given him a Warlord trait, so I've paid a CP to give him direct guidance, which means that he can give a +1 to hit buff on a unit. Start with the troops. On the left hand side I've got 9 Tyranid warriors. There's 2 venom cannons in there, everything else has got death spitters and a variety of dual bone swords and scything talons. I've got 2 units of termagants, 17 models there with flesh borers, and over the back there's a unit of 12 with the devourers.
With their lipsticks out.
Lovely and purple and pointy. Just behind those guys is the Parasite of Mortrex. So that's a new model for me today. I've paid a CP to give him the Warlord trait Alien Cunning, which means he's OBSEC and counts as 5 models, which will be nice for him flapping his wings all over the board. Also in fast attack slot with the Parasite are 2 Lictors. Sorry, they're elites. They haven't got anything special, they'll just be popping up somewhere on the board. The other fast attack unit is the Trigon, right in the centre there, so Trigons are now fast attack units. He'll be burrowing around. Finally, the heavy units is the 2 Exocrines, lipstick out there, really, have you got that?
Yeah.
Looking muscular.
Thick, length. Nice.
And finally, the Tyrannosaurus Fex with his rupture cannon. Okay, so the missions we've drawn from the Tempest of War pack is priority targets, which is 5 victory points for controlling 1 or more, 5 for controlling more than their opponent, and at the end of the battle you get 5 for each one you control up to 20 points. For the mission rules we've got supply lines, which means we only receive our CP bonus at the start of the turn if you control the objective in your own deployment zone. And lastly we drew Dawn of War as the battle map.
Our bets are here. I have a squad of incursors on the objective up here using their infiltrate rule. Over here we've got the infiltrators and the dreadnought. Big Indomitor kill team with the character support, dreadnought and the tank.
And in reserve?
In reserve we've got the terminators, inceptors and eradicators.
Right, I've hidden some gaunts.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. They're a little bit scared.
Hidden well.
They're okay. We've got some an Exocrine. This is all line of sight blocking in the centre here, so he's ready to move out either side. Swarmlord and Neurothrope are going to be chums today. They'll be hanging around, holding hands, and slaying Kane. Hopefully. Exocrine on this side. Warrior Blob with the Prime sitting in the middle on my home objective, and just down that side I've got Morgons and the Tyrannofex. So we've got the 5 objectives. My one is in my deployment zone. We've got one just here. This is all line of sight blocking on the template of
obscuring.
Obscuring. That's right. This is obscuring. In fact, all 4 pieces there and those 2 are obscuring. We've got an objective in the middle of the board. There's one just down on that side, and there's one behind there. So, yeah, thank you. So we are quite well spread out. It's an even board. First turn. I can't even see mine.
It's a 3.
And a 4. I go
Tyranids.
first. Turn 1. Right, so I've scored 5 victory points at the start of the turn for holding my own objective. So that's the first 5 from the mission. I've drawn the next 3 secondaries, or my first 3 secondaries, so I've got Investigate Sight, which means I've got to get to the middle of the board and carry out an action. I've got Grind Them Down, which means I've got to kill more than my opponent, and Overwhelming Firepower. So that's just a tally that I've got to keep of things that I destroy with ranged weapons. I did spend a CP, yeah, I had Enemy Outpost, which means I've got to take the objective in the opponent's deployment zone. So so I switched that out, and that was for Overwhelming Firepower. So I've played the Synaptic Imperative Psychic Augmentation, which is from the Neurothrope, which gives +1 to psychic tests. for units around it. So, yeah, in the command phase, the trait of the Neurothrope, which gives you an extra D6 on psychic powers, has gone on the Swarmlord. The other one for the Tyranid Prime has gone on to the Warriors. That's direct guidance, which is the Warlord trait as well. So I've moved up the Gaunts down the side, so they've got line of sight on those guys. Swarmlord has moved around as well, still trying to keep in a bit of cover. Everything's a little bit cagey at the moment. There's a few big guns rocking about. The Warriors, though, I've just ploughed them forward, trying to take that centre objective. And these Gaunts on this side have moved up and just got onto that objective there in no man's land. Okay, so psychic powers of the Neurothrope is cast Catalyst on the Swarmlord, and Psychic Scream has gone off and done a wound on the Incursors. Alright, so first up I'm shooting with my Devourer's Termagants. I've played Pathogenic Tar Slime for 2 CP, which means 6s to hit auto wound. So they got targeting those guys, yeah, what they Incursors?
They're Incursors, yeah.
Incursors. So yeah, they're now only 2 attacks each instead of 3 with this Codex. But here we go anyway, hitting on 4s. So with Leviathan, I get to reroll an attack with every unit. So that's that one, missed. So that's 4 auto wounds, and these will be wounding on 5s. Oh, there's a couple there. There's an extra 4. So there's 8 saves, Kane.
Yeah, any AP?
0.
Lovely. 3 ups. That is 2 failed, so 1 guy dies.
So at the end of my first turn, I've got the 5 VP for having 1 objective. Yep, it's in there, it's upside down, but it'll work. And that's it, no more on my secondary. So over to Deathwatch.
Yeah.
Turn 1 Deathwatch, I'm starting in Assault Doctrine. I've gone up to 10 CP. The cards I've drawn this turn are No Retreat, No Surrender, which means I can't fall back, can't make a move off an objective if I started on it, and I can't fail a morale test. I've got Assassination, which is to kill an enemy character, and I've got Grind them down, which is just to kill more by the end of next turn.
Alright, how'd you move?
Movement wise, Vanguard vets have stayed where they are. These guys have kind of tucked in just to get some shots at the Termagants. The Redemptors huffed it round to get some shots on the Swarmlord. These guys are staying on the objective. The brick over here is kind of pushed into the center a bit more. Dreadnought, Tech Marine, Captain, Company Champion there. And the tank is doing a bit of a weird thing to use its big guns on the smallest bugs ever. Okay, so 4 shots from the Incursors into the Termagants, hitting on 3s. That's 4 hits. Winning on 3s, strength 4.
Yep, toughness 3.
3 wounds, AP 1.
Yep, so it's a 5+ save now on the Termagant.
Oh.
So they're AP -1, right? So I've got 6 up saves. So 3 2s.
So the tank shot into the Termagants, and how many did I kill?
This many.
That many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, some of those are Devourers from the other side, so you killed 7 from that unit.
7 from the Mighty Tank.
Alright.
The Indomitor kill team, all of them are going to shoot into the Warriors. That's 10d6 flame shots and then 15 Hellstorm bolt rifle shots after. So 10d6 shots. Yeah, that's not bad. So that's 47 shots.
How many?
47 shots.
Auto hitting shots.
Auto
yeah. 5, yeah.
Yeah, winning on 5s. Yeah. So for my Deathwatch battlefield roll that I'm choosing to target to reroll 1s to wound, I've gone with HQs, so not going to count on this roll here.
Okay. Because we forgot.
Yeah, because we forgot. So 5's not re-rolling.
There you go.
What is it? Stepping up.
-1 AP. Is that right?
That's first roll terrible. First roll terrible. What were you looking for?
5s, I think.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, solid.
Well done. So that's 4 dead warriors out of the unit of 9. Just to the flamers.
Just from the flamers.
Okay, so because they were in cover, it should have been forced to save, but that was only made 1 additional save. So there is 1 Tyranid warrior left alive and 1 wound.
next up we have 15 shots from the Hellstorm bolt rifles. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s, thanks to the captain being nearby. That's a fair few 1s. 3s. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then these are strength 5. So winning on 4s.
Yes.
That will be 7 more wounds at AP 1.
For 4-ups, there's a few. Lose 2 wounds.
Save.
So he's gone, and 1's down to 2.
So Tech Marine shot his assault bolter into the warriors.
Yeah. So I've lost 1, and another 1 is down to 1 wound.
Captain shot against the warriors and missed.
Roll a solid 1.
Solid 1. Now we're going with the Dreadnought. He's putting his overcharged plasma cannon into the Swarm Lord, and his small arms fire is going into the warriors.
Alright.
Okay, so plasma shots.
Oh,
Yeah,
CP?
gonna CP that one. 4 shots,
That's
and
not
I
bad.
roll a 5 up to get CP back. I didn't, I got a 1.
nailed it.
So he's been buffed by the Tech Marine, so he's going to hit on 2s. He does.
Wow.
And because he's Synapse, I'll have to wound him on 4s, right?
Yeah, so his toughness 8, but he has a Synapse model, which on Leviathan is a 4+.
Cool, awesome. But I do reroll 1s for my tactic. 2 wounds.
So I get my 4-up invulnerable save, make 1 of them,
Flat 3.
flat 3 damage, so Catalyst saves on 5+, nothing.
Sweet. So Onslaught Gallon Cannon is fired into the warriors, killed 1 and given a wound to another. Incredibly ineffective. Dreadnought fired rocket pod and storm bolters and did nothing. So this Dreadnought is going to go all in on the Hive Tyrant, Swarm Lord, and so yeah, it's alright. We're going to pay 1 CP for Synaptic Severance, which is because he's a Synapse creature, any hit roll of a 6 automatically wounds.
Awesome.
So D6 shots. 5. That's better.
Cooking on gas.
Hitting on 3s. No auto wounds. Yep. Forced wound. We have 3 wounds.
What you got, Dave? What you got?
4-up in Vans, come on. Make 1, I'm going to CP reroll 1. Because I've got to. No.
Oh, let's say never do it.
So that's 6 damage.
Yeah,
I've got
6
6 catalyst saves because of 5s and 6s. Oh, there's a couple there. So he loses 4. So he's down to 6.
Cool. The rest of the fire did virtually nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
So morale, Dave.
Yeah, so I have morale on 2 units. So I didn't realise the auto pass synapse range is now only 6 inches. So these guys were totally outside. They failed morale checks, so 1 ran away, but all the rest passed combat attrition.
And on this lot.
Yeah, and on that lot, I actually rolled a 1 for the morale test. So they passed. Oh,
I got 2 objectives.
oh yeah, you did. Because you started on that
10,
one,
yeah.
so you got 10.
10-5.
My bad.
So I'm going to wrap up everything I've done so far. So we'll start with the command phase. I have scored an extra 5 victory points for having 2 objectives, but not more than my opponent, so I only get the 5.
Yeah.
And we clarified that for Kane as well. We gave him an extra 5 points, but actually
Indeed.
that
Shame.
happened. Yeah, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
Because he did. It's if you get more, you get the second 5, not
Okay.
if you have more than
So
1.
the scores as it currently stands is what?
10 points to the Tyranids, 5 to the Deathwatch on
Okay.
Tyranids turn 2.
And the cards you've drawn?
Still the same from last time. Overwhelming firepower, grind them down, and investigate site.
Okay.
Okay, so what I've done in my command phase is the Swarm Lord's abilities. I've put on the Termagants.
Yeah.
So that is the reroll. They get to reroll hit rolls, and they gain obsec as well. The Neurothropes ability in the command phase I've put on the Swarm Lord, which was an extra d6 on his psychic test. And the Tyranid Prime, just down here, he did his command phase ability on the Tyranid Warriors, which lets them reroll wound rolls of 1, and they also have got direct guidance, so they get +1 to hit as well. So there's lots of things going off at the moment. The synaptic imperative I chose at the start of this battle round is Guide Mind. So everything that's within 6 inches of a synapse gets an additional hit on a 6.
Awesome.
Yeah, okay. So movement, I've brought the Exocrines together, so they've got plenty of targets now they can go for.
Their tip's going to touch.
They're just going to kiss a little.
Just rub the ends together.
The Warriors have all gone in under the cover now. The Prime here as well, so I'm just going to try and see what I can do about that horrible squad.
Nice.
Get some vengeance, which is what 40k is about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Vengeance and more vengeance. Devourer Termagants, they've advanced up, but we cast Onslaught on them in the psychic phase from the Swarm Lord, so they can still shoot without the penalty to hit and also charge in. Swarm Lords move around into cover, getting out of way of those macroplasma weapons, and the Neurothropes moved in as well. Oh, in the command phase I also paid a CP for regenerating some wounds, which I did on the Swarm Lords. He regained 2 more wounds, back up to 8. Yeah, and then finally we did a Psychic Scream and 2 smites. It took out a couple of infiltrators. Okay, so we're going to start with the shooting phase now, with the Termagants and their Devourers targeting the infiltrators just the other side of the cover. So we are hitting on 4s.
Glamorous assistant,
Yeah.
Ben.
Thank you, Ben. And with Guide Mind, any 6s are additional hits. So we've got a couple in there, that's nice. 2 3s if you want to re-roll those.
Re-rolls.
Looking for 4s. Excellent,
Oh.
blimey.
Excellent
And then the
job.
2. Good work, Ben, good work.
Thanks for reminding me.
Good come again. Right, so they're strength 3 weapons, so we're looking at 5s now to wound. Is that 3?
I think, yeah.
Alright. No AP?
No, 0.
Cool, so 3 ups. 1 takes a wound and dies.
Ooh.
Down to one man.
1 guy left.
Okay, so Tyrannifex is getting his shots off with his Rupture Cannon. Those guys down there, the Gravis guys.
I'm going to transhuman. For
Yes.
2 CP.
Good move.
Transhuman, right, okay, so 3, it's a heavy 3, hitting on 3s. Excellent, 2 hits. No 6s in there, so we don't get any extras.
So 4s, 5s and 6s to wound.
Yep.
presumably.
Yep.
4s to wound. That'll do, just 1.
Okay, I have a 5 up invuln thanks to my relic.
Yep.
Which Morloc. Come on.
No, no. Alright, so next up is the Stinger Salvos. 8 shots. Do you want to do them? Go for it. 3s to
Your
hit.
tattoo's gone.
1 brings that one back in with the extra hit from guidance. So 4s to wound with transhuman. There you go. It's 4 saves.
Any AP?
Only -1, so I think you ignore that, don't you?
Yeah, thanks to the new armor of contempt. So 3. I'm in cover. So 2s.
Nice.
Still drop 2.
Oof.
So 1 guy takes 2 wounds.
Okay, starting with the Death Spitters on the Tyranid Warriors into that same unit. So hitting on 2s now after the Prime has given them his Warlord trait. So that's everything, and that 6 becomes an extra hit. Still transhuman, aren't they? So looking at 4s.
Yep.
Oof.
Great roll.
Bloody hell.
6
Praise Henry.
AP?
on a Death Spitter is -2.
So
-1.
So it
yeah,
negates your
-1,
cover.
so 2 3 ups. 1 dies, 1 takes a wound.
Okay, now 2 Venom Cannons. The number of shots is D3 for each. So that's 3 and 1. Hitting again on 2s. Ooh.
Oh.
4s to wound. Doesn't make it.
Brutal. Do you know who you didn't pray to?
I didn't pray to Henry. Okay, next up the Exocrine to the same target. So number of shots is D3 plus 6. It's for 1, so that's 7. Hitting on 3s. Oh, there's a lot of misses there. Oof. And then wounding on 4s. It's 1 wound.
AP?
-4.
Still 5 up. Nope.
That's 3 damage.
It's 1 dead dude.
Oof.
I'll go straight in with the other one. So D3 plus 6. It's
Oh,
more
here we
likely.
go.
9 shots again, hitting on 3s. Oh, it's a lot missing. But there's 1 6, so that's an auto hit. Okay, wounding on 4s again because you're transhuman. Oh, that's more like
Very
it.
nice.
Oh, beastly.
That's not
AP
nice to
-4.
see. 5s. Safe
Oh,
3.
wow.
So they're 3 damage a pop.
Yep.
2 dead.
Alright, in the charge phase, gonna charge in with those termagants just through the cover into those guys. So just see how far they go with a 9.
Oof.
Solid. Okay. So in the combat, my termagant's completely whiffed, and he saved all his. Was it 2 saves
2 saves.
in the end? And I've lost 2 in return.
Deathwatch.
Yeah, so spending 2 CP to auto pass my Indomitor kill team on their
Excellent.
leadership.
Yeah. So at the end of my turn, I haven't scored any of the secondaries. I haven't destroyed a unit, so I haven't got anything to grind them down or overwhelming firepower, and I'm not in the middle of the board for investigating the site. So I think I am going to get rid of investigate site.
Yeah.
You can switch that out, can't you, at the end of the turn?
Yeah, you can get rid of any number of them.
Can you score?
I did. I scored no retreat, no surrender because I didn't fail the morale test, fall back, or move off an objective.
Awesome. Putting the scores to what?
I'm 10, you're on 10 as well.
10-10.
10 all.
Yep. So before Space Marine turns 2, so I had an objective which is grind them down as a secondary. We should have got rid of that in the first battle round. Yeah, boo. So objective that I drew was storm hostile objective. So had I drawn that at the right time,
Drove.
Yeah.
had I drove that at the right time, we speak good England. When I took that objective in my last turn, I would have scored 5 points.
Okay. So we've amended
So,
the scores.
We've amended the scores, yeah.
So the scores are now
15.
15-15.
15-15.
That's right.
Going into Space Marines turn 2.
So Deathwatch turn 2, I'm staying in Tactical Doctrine. Movement wise, Vanguard vets are staying in the back pocket. The Infiltrator has fallen back around the Termagants. Just continue to hold that objective, hopefully going to shoot them off. This Dreadnought has pushed up, trying to get some shots potentially on the Exocrine. Infiltrators, again, staying where they are. The middle force of the aggressors are pushing up towards the Exocrines in the middle. Dreadnought and characters that follow him. The tank has now gone onto the objective, and hopefully if I can get rid of these Termagants, I can claim that. Inceptors have dropped down in the back, and on this side of the field, the Terminators are going to make a glorious 9-inch charge off the Deep Strike. So new cards, we've got Bring It Down, which means I need to kill a model with the highest wounds characteristics, which is the Tyrannifex. And Attempting Target, Dave has nominated the back objective over there with the Termagants on it, and I need to take that by the end of this turn.
It's quite a lot weighing on that objective.
Yeah.
Did you score primaries in your command phase?
Just for 5 points.
And that's what brings you up to 15.
Yeah. So the Inceptors are shooting their assault bolters into the Termagants, and that's 18 shots. Hitting on 3s, on 3s.
How many is dead?
9.
Oof.
There's 1 left.
The tank is going to put its Storm Bolter and Iron Hail Heavy Stubber into that last remaining Termagant, and it's going to put its Laser Destroyer into the Tyrannifex.
Ooh.
Yeah. So let's start with the big gun, hitting on 2s.
Where's
Roll.
it gone? Where's it gone?
Roll to 1.
Oh.
Not going to reroll. And wounding on a 3, which I got.
So 1 save of 5 up. Makes it.
Oh, no way.
So the tank fired its bolters into the Termagant and finished it off. 10 shots from the Infiltrators into the Termagants, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3s. That's 4. AP 1.
So looking for 6 ups, makes 1. So that's 3 down, and they've got catalyst on them still. Which saves another 1. So that's 2 dead.
Dreadnought is going to shoot next. He's going to put all of his incidental fire, the Storm Bolters, the Icarus Rocket Pod, and the Gatling Cannon into these termagants just to make sure they're dead as much as can be. The Macroplasma is going to go into the Exocrine here.
This one.
This one. Okay, so Plasma Cannon. Yeah. D6 shots.
Oh.
Again. Oh. We will re-roll for 4.
Exactly what happened last time.
Exactly what happened last time. Hitting on 3s for 2. I am overcharging, so wounding on 3s for 1. It's AP 4.
6 up on the Exocrine. Nope, flat 3, is it?
3.
It's down to 12 wounds.
Incidental fire from the Dreadnought has taken away the last termagant.
Yes.
Dominant Kill Team is shooting into the Warrior Squad, their Flamers, and that's 10d6 auto hits. Auto be 1. So 27 hits. 5s to wound.
You've gone through, Dave?
10.
10.
10 wounds. Saving on 4 ups because I'm in cover. 3 saves. So that kills him. Kills the second one. And then one's on 1 wound.
How many left?
2 left.
Yeah, so the Captain and the Tech Marine both shot into the Warriors, and it's left them with 1.
1 wound.
Champion into the Warrior, hitting on 3s. Hits. Wounding on a 5. It's a 3.
Oh, that was anticlimactic.
Dreadnought is going to put his Gatling Cannon and Storm Bolter into the remaining Warrior, and then he's going to put his Rocket Pod and the Plasma Cannon into the Exocrine. Okay, Plasma into the Exocrine, number of shots. 2. Hitting on 2s this time. Is re-rolling 1s thanks to the Captain.
Nice.
So that's that. And then wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, AP 4.
Okay, looking at 6 ups. Nope.
6 damage.
Ooh. It's down to 6.
Wicked. Rocket Pod following that up. 3 shots. 2s re-rolling 1s. And then 5s. That'd be 2. And that's AP 1.
So look at 3 ups. No, only one of them.
Okay, 2 damage.
Down to 4.
And
Moment of
Working
truth.
him.
oh, that's it. That's all that's going into him.
Oh, okay. You're trying to take out the warrior?
No, it's the Warriors. Onslaught Gatling Cannon into the Warrior. 2s, re-rolling 1s. And then 4s. That'd be 5. And an AP 1.
So looking for 4 ups. Oh,
Oh,
No way.
1 gets through.
I have a Storm Bolter.
Yeah, it's not worth it. He's on his last wound, so
He's gone.
I'll give him to you.
For the watch. For the watch. Okay, so Terminators are going to split fire. 4 of them are going to shoot the Neurothrope that they can see, and the Salamander there is going to shoot the Swarmlord. So, 16 shots into the Neurothrope. And then wounding on 5s. That's 7.
3 up invulnerable saves. Failed 2. It's 1 damage each, yeah.
Yeah. And then the 4 into the Swarmlord. All hit. And 1 wound. Actually, sorry, I re-roll 1s for HQs, so, but nothing.
Nice.
Nothing.
AP 0, isn't it?
AP 1,
AP 1, is it?
Tactical Doctrine.
Ah, 3 up. Hey.
Cool. The fight phase, we're going to charge the aggressors into this Exocrine. It's a 7-inch charge, which I make on a 10.
Overwatch.
Yep. That is D3 number of shots added to 6. 7, looking for 6s.
Oh, we got 1.
That's a 2.
No, just the 1 then.
Cool.
What that be? 3s?
Yeah.
To wound.
Yep.
Oof.
5 up invulnerable. Nope.
Flat 3 damage.
There goes the last
Oh.
heavy assessor.
Nicely done, Dave.
Okay.
So they charge in.
They are moving in. So Inceptors charging into the Tyrannifex need a 9.
Oh,
12. Oof. So we're coming around here.
wow.
So last charge, Terminators into the Swarm Lord needing a 9. Let's do it. I'm going to CP it.
Yes.
So CP, let's see. No, didn't happen.
Did you get it back?
They don't want it enough. Okay, so for the aggressors, having charged in, I'm paying a CP to give them +1 attack in combat. Being Deathwatch, they also get to reroll their ones to hit in combat as well. So hitting on 4s, because these are power fists, 20 attacks. T8 strength 8, so 4s. That is a P4.
6 up saves. Make one of them. What are they each? Damage
2 damage, yeah.
Yeah, so he's gone. Was it all on that one?
Does he
Yeah.
explode? Or anything?
He does on a 6. He doesn't.
Sugar plums.
Yeah, oh, that one.
That was
then
close.
Just, we'll consolidate these a little bit like that.
So the Inceptors
Yep.
did nothing. I've made 2 saves with the Tyrannifex, and I've done 2 damage back in return.
Hello.
Pretty solid.
So I've attacked back with the Exocrine, forced 2 saves, but no dice.
End of Space Marine's turn 2. I've taken that objective from Dave, scoring attempting target, which gets me a further 5 points, leaving me on 20 at the end of my turn.
Okay, turn 3 of Tyranids. So wrapping up the first couple of phases and the points. So I've scored 5 VP for holding my objective, and I drew another 2 missions. So joining overwhelming firepower is raise the banners and deploy teleport Homer. So raise the banner I can only do if I take an objective in no man's land, and deploy teleport Homer is basically carrying out an action in the deployment zone. So I have moved around thusly. The Swarm Lord's moved around here.
His wounds went up.
His wounds went up because, yeah, I did the regen, 1 CP strat. He's back up to 10. The Neurothrope has floated over the other side, over there. The Exocrine has fallen back out of combat. I've moved around the Lictor to try and get a charge off, and the Trigon Prime as well to try and take care of those guys. The Parasite has flown down, not just on the edge of my objective there,
Nice.
and the Trigon Prime has moved over as well. So in case those charges don't get off, I don't want to make it too easy for these guys, but I'm sure they'll get there. And the Inceptors, I've stayed in combat because the Rupture Cannon and everything can still fire. And finally, the other Trigon with the Toxin Spike has dropped just over there, 9 inches from the back of this Gladiator.
And
Yeah, and the Lictor's dropped in there. He's the one that's going to be deploying the Homer.
Tyranid, homing beacon.
Homing beacon, that's right. So the Psychic phase, we did Smite and Psychic Scream, which got rid of the last Infiltrator on that objective. So he's gone, so the Neurothrope holds that now. The Swarm Lord, he pulled off Paroxysm, Psychic Power, on this unit here. So that means they're -1 to wound rolls, and they cannot fire Overwatch with their flame weapons.
Oof. How'd you feel?
Oh, that's disappointing.
It's horrible. Right, so into the shooting phase. Yep, Tyrannifex first. I'm going to put all his firepower into the Inceptors buzzing around his waist, groin. So 3 shots. It's -1 to hit in combat, isn't it? So hitting on 4s. Oh!
Oh, turkey. Got a reroll?
Yeah, Leviathan. I keep forgetting. I can re-roll a hit roll. Oh! It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes.
You killed one.
Yep, Stinger Salvos. Killed one.
Took out one.
And one's on 2 wounds.
Okay, so next up I'm going to shoot with the Trigon Prime. I'm spending a CP on Shard Lure, which means if I hit with a ranged attack, everything gets an extra dice. on the charge, and then you
You're
discard
attacking.
one. Those guys. So you've only got a hit for that to come off, and he's got 8 shots, hitting on 3s. That's everything. How did I not get that with the? Anyway. So that is now, that's a strength 5 weapon, so wounding on 4s. So that's 4 saves, AP -2.
Cool, AP 1, so 4 ups. Take 2.
Cool. The Tyranid Prime shooting with his Death Spitter, 3 shots, hitting on 2s. As always, oh, I get to reroll 1 every time, which I keep forgetting. There you go, 3 hits. Strength 5, so winning on 4s. Nada.
Oof.
So that Trigon that's just burrowed up takes a wound of his bio-spines off of that gladiator. Okay, so in the charge phase, I have charged in with the Prime after the Parasite failed into the Inceptors to try and help out the Tyrannifex, who obviously can't look after himself. I played a couple of CPs here, so I did the Shard Lure with the Trigon, so to roll an extra dice on the charge for anything that charges that unit there, which came off when he attacked. And I've also played a CP on Pheromone Trail to get +2 to the charge for that unit as it was near the Lictor. So those 2 have both made it in. And over on this side, after a re-roll, which is a bit worrying because he's obviously not up for it, Swarmlord is into the Dreadnought.
Nice. And you played a stratagem.
Yeah, the repulsor backwash thing to
which
-2 from his
which
charge.
prevented the charge.
Yeah.
Over there.
I also played a stratagem called, I don't know,
Trampling.
Trampling Charge, and
that was over here?
that was over here, so he should have done some mortal wounds, but I rolled a 1.
A 1.
A non-rerollable 1. Okay, so we're going to go with the Trigon Prime first against these units, just because if they punch me back, he's more likely to suffer. It was a choice between him or the Swarmlord, but Swarmlord will probably, with an invuln save, will do better. So first thing we're going to do is the biostatic rattle. So on 3d6, if we beat the leadership, they lose reroll abilities on hits and wounds.
Ooh.
It's an 8.
Yeah, I killed the sergeant, so their leadership 7.
So there's 7, so there's no rerolls to hit and wound on that unit. 12 attacks now. 6s do an additional hit, 3s to hit.
Oof.
Now with his, so
Sixes.
look at all those 6s. Bloody hell, you can
Yeah,
come
nailed
again.
That. Nailed that.
So I get to re-roll everything with his Warlord trait of heightened senses, so you can re-roll those as well. Lovely. So they go back in for those 2, and we get an extra 2.
Hot roll in there.
And because of the relic, the Seer Hive, they're all automatically wound infantry.
Oh man.
So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 saves.
AP.
-3.
Cool.
-2.
5 ups then. Whole squad's been wiped, not a
They're
single
gone. Goodness me. Happy?
Feeling better, but Ben did it. It's all Ben's.
Well done, Ben.
Yeah, cheers, Ben. Nice
And
one.
also, thank you, Henry.
You can use me once per turn.
It's
We're
a
gonna call you
CP stratagem.
CP Ben.
Yes, so I'm going to spend 2 CP to interrupt with my Dreadnought.
Yeah.
5 attacks, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s because it's Deathwatch, and then wounding on 4s, re-rolling 1s because I've chosen HQs from my battlefield roll.
Awesome.
So, 5 attacks. Re-roll the 1. 3 hits. And 4s to wound. Re-roll the 1.
Oh,
3 wounds.
Oof. This could be it. Hang on. Assassinates on the card. Literally.
So
4 ups.
in combat, his blade parry gives him an extra thing where he gets to ignore the first failed saving roll. It's counted as 0 damage.
Oh, of course he does.
So is it a flat damage
It's D3 plus 3.
on each one?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll roll them in turn then. So 4 up, Invuln fails.
Oof.
I need him alive. I
CP?
might do, yeah.
CP spend.
CP spend for a 4 up.
Yep.
Makes it. Next one. No. And last one. No. 2 failed.
2d3 plus 3 damage.
So you do the first one counts as 0.
So that's nothing. And then second one, 4.
Okay, so he goes down to 6. Okay, attacking with the Swarm Lord now. Looking for 3s to hit because he's in his middle bracket. So, right, I was going to play Voracious Appetite to reroll all wound rolls. For what, that was my final CP. So that's 5 hits. Oh, was that 6? Okay, so this is the Leviathan reroll. So that hits, and I got a 6, which gives me an extra hit. So this is Strength 9, wounding on 3s. Rerolling. Oh, look at that. There's only 1. And it makes it. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds.
6 up save thanks to Armour of Contempt. I make none, and that's 12 damage.
Oh.
And that's me going boom.
Oh no, does it explode?
No.
Remove.
The Tyranid Prime managed to take out one of the Inceptors and wound the other. They did nothing in return to the Tyrannifex, but he also did nothing. Whiffed entirely, rolling 3 1s.
At the end of your turn?
Wound. Yes, that's the end of my turn, so I score Deploy Teleport Homers.
Yeah, because of the over there.
For the Lictor, yep, so that's an extra 5 points. And I actually gain... no, I don't gain anything yet for Overwhelming Firepower, and I haven't raised a banner.
Okay, so that leaves the score on...
That would be 30 Tyranids to 20 with the Deathwatch. Up to 3 CP. Into the Combat Doctrine now. In terms of my movement, my Vanguard veterans have come out from here to kill this Neurothrope. My Infiltrators are still staying back, holding this objective for me. Terminators over there have kind of waddled a little bit. A tiny bit.
Doing what they do.
Yeah. In the centre of the battlefield, the Dreadnought, the Chapter Champion, Tech Marine and Captain have all kind of moved into staging positions for charges. Hopefully going to kill that Hive Tyrant this turn. Swarmlord again. The Inceptor has fallen back behind the container. The tank has pushed up, still on the objective, and 3 Eradicators have arrived from Strategic Reserve. Primary wise, I scored 10 points because I hold more, so that puts us both on 30.
Wow.
So these Eradicators are going to put all of their shots into the Tyrannifex. Because they're shooting the same target, they double tap. So, hitting on 3s.
All hit.
And wounding on 4s.
Oof.
Oh, that's bad. I'm just going to leave that there.
Just the one save?
Just the one.
What's the AP? -4, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm looking for 6s. No.
And that'll be D6 plus 2. 5.
5. So it's down to 12 wounds.
Right, yep, so the tank is going to put its laser destroyer into the Parasite of Mortrex. And actually, you know what? It's going to put everything into the Parasite.
Nice.
Let's burn a bug.
Right, so the Parasite has a built-in -1 to hit, and that hit roll cannot be re-rolled. Because of Synapse and Leviathan, you also can't be wounded on less than a 4.
Okay, jobs to do. So the laser destroyer hits on 2s thanks to its optics, and now it's going to 3s. So 2 hits.
Nice.
And 4s to wound. 2 wounds.
Ooh. Oh, look at that.
AP3.
I don't get a save.
That's minimum 6 damage.
How many wounds has it got?
6.
It's gone straight to hell.
Straight to hell. New model syndrome.
Hang on, I've got to do a squawking fly past
Okay.
it. Go on.
So from killing the Parasite, I now score the Assassination. Infiltrators are going to shoot the Neurothrope. They haven't moved, so they are subject to Bolted Discipline. So hitting on 3s.
Ooh.
Yep.
Kane, you're rolling a bit hot.
So hot right now.
Because
So
it's
hot.
a HQ, I get to reroll 1s to wound.
Almost as hot as
So
the
5s.
shed.
Hotter than the sun.
Hotter than the surface of the sun.
3 wounds.
3 days.
3 up in Van saves.
Oh,
Oh, 3.
let let me down. So your characters all shot against the lictor and missed completely.
They all missed because he's.
I saved a few.
Ducking and
Give me a bit
diving.
of credit.
So Terminator shot into the exocrine and did nothing. So Dreadnought is going to shoot everything he's got into the Swarm Lord. So starting with Plasma. Please don't roll a 1.
It's so
Every time.
Oh, okay.
Do a CP now?
Absolutely. Into a 5. Okay.
Oh.
Hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1 thanks to the captain.
Nice.
And then wounding on 4s. Rerolling any 1s? No. So 3 wounds.
4 up invulnerables. Ooh,
That's
that
6
failed too.
damage.
That's him gone.
Wow. Oof. Do you feel good?
I feel good.
Do you feel good? Do you feel bad?
Oh no, I feel good.
All
He
right,
did a
let's,
job. He did a job.
Yeah,
He took
he
out his brother.
So charge phase, I've charged the Chapter Champion into the Lictor.
Yes.
I've charged the Dreadnought into the Trigon Prime. And the Vanguard Vets have finally done something and charged into the Neurothrope.
Glorious. Where are you going to go first?
We're going to go with the Dreadnought first. I'm going to spend a CP to give it 1 additional attack.
So after a debate, these have both got 5 first abilities, but charging giving you that ability as well on the charge, and it being Kane's go, he gets to pick first.
Dreadnought first. So hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. Actually, I need to double check something.
Okay.
Okay, so Dreadnought into the Trigon Prime, hitting on 4s with 6 attacks. Does reroll 1s. So that's 5 hits.
Oof.
Strength 14, but because Synapse can't wound on less than a 4, I do reroll 1s thanks to the Battlefield roll being HQ.
What is that? That's a 3.
So 3 wounds.
AP -4.
Yeah, assault doctrine.
Sword Dodger. Then I don't get a save.
Yep. 4, and it's D3 plus 3.
Wow.
So that's 9 plus a lot.
9.
9, 10, 13, 15 damage.
Ooh, he's got 14 wounds. He is gone. And he goes mad on a 6. Nope. There's another HQ. Okay, Lictor attacking next. Hitting on 2s, which would be 3s because of the Chapter Champion. That's 4 hits for strength 7, so 3s. 2 wounds.
AP?
-3.
Okay, so I have a 2-up base save thanks to my relic, so that goes to a 4.
Nice.
Save 1, drop 1.
2 damage.
So Chapter Champion going back in, 6 attacks from the charge, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s because Deathwatch. All hit. Strength 5, toughness 5.
Toughness 5, yep.
So 4's to wound. 1, 2, 3. AP 4.
So he's got 5 up invulnerable save. Make 1 of them.
2 damage each.
So he's down to 1 wound.
So Vanguard Vets are going into the Neurothrope. They've got Lightning Claws, so they'll be re-rolling their wounds. They've also got re-roll 1s to hit because it's HQ. So hitting on 3s. Re-roll them 1s. Okay, and it's 5s to wound, re-rolling.
How many is that?
4, 8, 9.
3 up invulnerable saves. Oh, there's a lot of fails there.
Oh, my
1, 2,
word.
3, 4, 5 fails. Wounded, he's gone.
Brains!
Splat.
Lack of brains.
So forgetting the Terminators even existed,
Because they're hidden.
because they're hidden and they only want, like, waddle. Charging into the Exocrine, we pre-measured it earlier as a 10.
Oh,
No.
You know what we're going to do? We're gonna go for it.
Yeah,
We're gonna re-roll, and we don't.
That's even worse.
Oh,
They don't want it.
Terrible.
So at the end of my turn, I've scored Assassination, bringing me up to 35 points.
35 points to
30. It's tight.
tight game. Nice
Tight.
and tight going into turn 4.
So turn 4. I've gained a extra 5 victory points for holding 1 objective. Yep, over there, which is my own one. Obviously now I'm well off of everything else. So there's not a lot left for me to move. I've only moved the Exocrine round. I'm not sure why I've done that, other than because I felt like I needed to move something.
Yeah.
And the Tyranifex has pulled back a little bit. The Prime's moved over because he might be able to get something on that guy there. Help out the Lictor. I've moved the Trigon round and the Lictor behind. You can just see it round the corner.
Oh yeah, there he is.
So those guys are going to be carrying out the,
Nice.
securing my secondary objective, which is behind enemy lines. But the other 2, no prisoners, and the other one I drew, which I spent a CP to draw, is secure no man's land. So they're not going to come off
No, that's quite
anytime
tricky.
soon. So we go no psychics now, so straight into the shooting against the
Exocrine.
Dread.
Yeah. 6 shots.
Yep. So hitting on 3s, it's 7 shots, and I get to re-roll 1 for Leviathan if I remember. So that's 6, 7 hits. It's 3s to wound. That's not bad.
Ouch.
Oof.
That's 6 wounds.
What's the AP, please?
-3. Oh, sorry, -4.
That's a 5-up invulnerable save.
Oh yeah, because of your...
The Chapter Champion's
Yeah.
Relic.
It's 3 damage.
Save 1.
Go.
It's 10 damage.
But it comes down to 2, doesn't it?
So it's got 3 wounds remaining.
Next, everything it's got at this Gladiator.
I'm going to spend a single CP to use my auto launchers for -1 hit.
Okay, so I am being on 12 wounds. I'm still in the top profile. So hitting now on 4s. With the Rupture Cannon, that's 2 hits. That's, sorry, 1 hit. Strength 14, 3s to wound.
What is it?
2! That Rupture Cannon always lets me down. So Tyranifex, shot with the spines as well, did absolutely nothing to the Gladiator. Complete waste of time. Complete waste of time. Won't bring it again. Won't bring it again.
Anything more to shoot?
Anyone wants to buy Tyranifex, Hive Fleet Vienetta,
They're currently in the bargain bin with the Doomsday Marks.
2s to hit.
Which is a
Look at
Death
that.
Spitter
Yep, all hit.
against the Dreadnought.
5s to wound. 2 wounds. -2.
Okay, so 4s. It takes 1.
How many's got?
2 wounds left.
So the Exocrine has charged in. Yes, he's docking with the Dreadnought.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Dry docking or wet docking?
Definitely wet docking.
Don't look them up, kids.
Right, we're going with the Lictor first. 6 attacks, hitting on 3s. Get to reroll 1 for Leviathan. It's 5 hits. Strength 7. So 3s to wound. That is 4 wounds.
Cool.
AP is -3.
So it goes to 2, and the Relic Shield puts me at a 2-up, so 4s. Drop 3. He is dead.
2
Oh
damage a go.
la, the champion.
Goes down.
Epic.
Right, next up, Exocrine. He's got these powerful limbs. It's so powerful. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. Get to reroll 1 of the hit rolls. It's actually quite handy when you remember it, isn't
Yeah.
it? So he has got strength 7.
T7.
So 4s, 1 wound. AP is -1.
So 3-up. Nope.
Oh, and it is a 2 damage
Oh.
attack.
Down to 1 wound.
Does he blow up?
Down to 1 wound.
Oh, I thought
yeah,
it was a
because
2.
it's
-1 damage.
Scandal.
So 5 attacks back, hitting on 5s with the Dreadnought.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
It's the end of Tyranids turn 4, and I've scored behind enemy lines, secondary objective. That takes me up to 40 points to 35.
Oof. Oh.
It's not over.
It's not over.
It's not over. End of Space Marine turn 4. Not an awful lot happened. The tank moved over, took some shots, didn't quite kill the Tyran effects. I think I got down to what, 2 wounds?
Yep.
So,
2 left.
yeah, which is a shame because my last objective was to kill it. The captain charged into the lictor and brutalized it. Smashed it. The dreadnought kind of bounced off of the exocrine. And that's pretty much it.
So at the end of the turn, you've scored 45?
Yeah, 45 for primary and
to 40.
15 for secondary.
Okay, so big scores.
So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up the game there. We've planned out turn 5. Effectively, because Kane's holding all the objectives, he'd score those points at the end of the game more than I would. And I just can't keep up at that stage with not enough left on the board. So
Deathwatch victory.
Well done.
Well played.
Congratulations.
Thanks for coming, Kane.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you to CP Ben for coming also. Check us out. Stick around, subscribe, like, comment, do all that sort of nonsense that we should have said at the start. See you on the other side.